What is going on, everybody?
Hello.
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney 2. When we left off, we're in the middle of this wild court case. Because justice for Gregson, goddammit. But there's some fishy stuff
still
going
isn't
on.
really giving us much to work with, but we found out the thing about the board with
Yeah,
the hand
we've got
board.
all the witnesses that we need to figure out what they did because the board's in the wrong place. So y'all better give me some answers before we don't know what the fuck's going on. And then we got this.
Yeah.
Hey, don't know you guys help me. I can't imagine.
Oh boy.
Oh, you. All right, the mystery of the moving board. So, I'm not saying about that noise board. And you want me to that's all.
Well, don't look at me. I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time. I don't know anything about it. I'm just a match down to me. I'm just a crossroads of life.
It was that whip that baby got fixed this screen board.
I can't see how this changes anything anyway. The detective died when we heard the gunshot.
Okay.
So none of you can elaborate further.
Shaken by the crime they witnessed, and with only the light of a few candles and an oil lamp by which to see, we can't expect these witnesses to be able to give a more precise account of what happened.
That's right, yeah. I don't pay to expect too much. It's this quest for knowledge that's destroying the world. That's what I say.
Do you? Really? In any case, as this testimony shows, even if the notice board was moved by somebody following the incident, it makes no difference. When the gunshot rang out, the accused was the only person at the scene. In short, the only person who could have possibly have committed this crime is Beric Van Zeeks.
Incorrect.
None of this wrangling over the board changes that simple fact.
Quite so, quite so. Does the defense still wish to cross-examine the witnesses despite the circumstances?
Yeah. Most certainly, my lord.
Very well. And you may proceed, counsel.
I will. Right, you freak of nature. So you don't know anything, just wiped your hand on it. Are you sure about that? So you admit that it was the board you wiped the bloody hand on. Perhaps you wanted to hide that handprint. So you righted the notice board and pushed it into the corner, did you? No, Matt, you wear that great luck. I look like a powerful and well-natured man.
No.
Well, did you see anybody else moving the board? I've got no idea I can tell you, but even I have my doing. It was a boy on the floor in front of me and the Grim Reaper himself standing over. And there was no light inside either. My bottom lip was all quiver. That would cause a hurricane.
Oh my god.
In other words, this witness is unable to give definite testimony on that point.
Yes, so it would seem.
And what about you? Why are you lighting it on your ass? Okay. You haven't got a clue about doing business a second.
Because she can.
When you say we're doing business with them, you mean you were selling them fireworks?
Yeah, what else? This is a priory school just around the corner, see? Those cheeky little so-and-sos have got a plan to blow their school to kingdom come. So I've been telling on them, letting the teachers know what they're up to.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I wouldn't want anyone to get hurt, so I let the school know the kids are playing with dodgy toys, that I'm selling them. Then, praise the Lord, the teachers did take all the fireworks off them.
And then they buy more.
And then, praise the Lord again, the kids all come back to me to buy more. Everyone's happy, see? Wow.
Oh, what a racket.
It's just an endless loop of
Yep.
profit. Of course, and sometimes the teachers give me a little bonus to thank me for letting them know. It's a busy old life selling explosives.
Venus is a guileful goddess indeed.
Well, telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing, really.
Oh.
I'm ever so good at it.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't expect that you were going to say something on that, but
Excuse me.
something wrong, Mr. Sandwich? It's always you.
If I said it was, could we just leave it at that? Will that be the end of it?
No. It's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. Did Miss Venus' statement just now bring something to mind, perhaps?
This is now his voice. I like it a lot. Philosophical thoughts. Deep philosophical thoughts.
Huh?
Let's say there was a great liar. And that great liar said, without batting an eye, telling barefaced lies is my kind of thing. Kind of my thing. You know, both works. I'm ever so good at it. But were those words supposed to be a lie too? Or the truth? In which case, it's not a lie.
I mean...
Oh, it's a hellish paradox, that one. Don't you think?
It's a classic, and that all came from Beppo. Beppo created that paradox. It's canon now. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but it seems to me you're suggesting Miss Venus has been lying, are you?
Yes. Look at her fucking face. What are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are you? Keep on like that. What? You threaten their life? And I'll wrap your whole body in firecrackers and set them off. That'll give you something to tremble about.
Oh no, Beppo, no!
You just talked about attempted murder in a court of law.
You have a startlingly disturbing mind behind that sweet and innocent face, young lady.
So Miss Venus has lied in her testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich?
She's a lie, bitch. Look at her. Well, if it means I'll be murdered in hellfire for the rest of my days, so be it. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, interesting. Can you elaborate, please, sir?
Why don't you look at me when you talk to me, Bruce? Blabbermouth here headed for the room where the gunshots seemed to come from. But there was someone else who crept up the stairs, but behind him too. That's right. That rotten lie over there.
Ooh.
Little Red Riding Liar. That's her name.
Little Red Riding Bitch. Okay.
You can't trust anyone who lights a match on their butt.
Do you mean to say that you did in fact betake yourself to the scene of the crime after all?
See, she did it again. What did I tell you, eh? Why did you keep kissing your firecrackers? I said I was good at telling barefaced lies, didn't I?
Yes, you mentioned it.
Well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it?
Who knew firecrackers packed such a punch?
I did see her eyes just me.
So did you indeed visit the scene of the... Oh, you did indeed visit the scene of the crime, did you, young lady? Good grief.
Well, now that you come to mention it, I suppose perhaps... I do clearly remember climbing the stairs to the room, yeah?
Oh my god. Either you clearly remember it or you don't.
She's a fucking liar.
Well, I shall consider a fitting punishment for this treacherous act later. For the time being, you will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth.
Oh yes, my lord, of course.
Okay, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere.
Maybe I did sneak along behind gossip and have a little peek into the room where it all happened.
And what did you find? You make a habit of lying, do you, Miss Venus?
She does. Well, I suppose so. I don't really know, to be fair. That's a lie too. If you want my advice, though, I'd take everything I say with a big pinch of salt. More like a fucking gallon.
All right, but you did in fact go to the room where the victim was killed on the day in question, didn't you?
I've missed doing bits. Oh, please, as if I would. I can't think of anything more terrifying.
The truth, please.
Well, all right, just a bit then. I mean, a girl my age is curious about stuff, you know? The fuck upset me.
Did you touch anything at the scene?
Oh, please, as if I would. I mean, there was a dead body on the floor.
The truth, please.
Well, alright, just a bit then. I had a look to see if there was anything I could sell. Wow. So I did get the place I once ever, but it was not the right one. Right home about.
Right. Now, I hesitate to ask, but Ahsoka, are you using your looks to badger the witness? Is that what's going on? I mean, you're doing a good job because he's getting the truth out, but holy shit.
Yeah.
You didn't move the notice board by any chance, did you?
Oh, please, as if I would touch anything like that. Just a few bits of loose change is all I had.
The truth, please.
Well, alright then. I thought there might be something worth having underneath it. So I blasted the flipping thing. Sorry, flip the blasted thing.
You're telling us that you did move the board?
I think that did slip out, didn't I?
Whoa.
Or didn't it? I don't know. I don't believe it. The god doesn't think.
So, did you find anything then? Something that you might have taken, perhaps? To sell?
I believe she doesn't think. Look at her. Oh, please. I should be so lucky.
The truth now.
I might have found this old pocket watch under the notice board, I suppose. A bit of junk like this can't be worth much if you ask. Ah!
Oh, Jesus.
That's someone. Oh, Gina. So it's you, was it? You're the one what took it.
Gina?
Young lady, may I remind you where you are?
That watch there. That was a present to Inspector Gregson from the yard for a big case he sold 10 years ago. The professor case, no doubt.
Oh, man, why is this all coming back to that?
The boss used to wind it up every evening without fail when he was waiting for his grub to come at the pub.
I see.
Swiped it off him once and blimey, he was upset. He gave me a right earful. Daddy ain't missed a day in the last 10 years polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him, that watch did.
Possibly not the best thing to go diving for, then.
No. It's not all that, though. I took it to Jabez's last night to ask how much it was worth, but the old dealer wouldn't touch it. Wouldn't give me a penny for it, said it wasn't working. Knocked about and worthless, he called it. Ugh. I knew I should have lifted it.
Oh, God. That watch must be submitted as evidence at once.
Oh, please, just as long as you promise to give it back when we're done.
No.
Not a chance. I'll swipe it from if you try to get your grubby mitts on it again.
That's enough. Hand the watch back to the bailiff forthwith.
Now, children. Watch your manners.
Good sisters.
Good Lord! The glass appears to be broken.
Huh. More than likely it shattered when the inspector was shot.
It doesn't tick anymore either. Which is why Jabez didn't want it. What a waste, eh?
Yes, indeed. It appears to have stopped at the hour of 5.
Exactly when the gunshot was heard, then.
Huh. Which supports the prosecution's claim, of course.
I want to look at that thing.
Yeah.
I want to look at it.
Well, it would appear that the mystery of the moving notice board has been solved at least.
There's more to this. This is like a transformer. There's more than meets the eye.
There's always more than meets the eye.
Sam. So the front, clean, smooth. Never mind then. But
There
this.
really isn't.
Glass over the face really is badly cracked. Look.
What a shame when the inspector clearly looked after it so carefully.
Imagine Mr. Holmes could repair it, don't you?
Yes, I should think so.
He's very adept at things like this. He's a man to have around, in fact.
But kindly remember that he's a great detective, Miss Naruto, not an odd job man.
Well, he's odd, that's for damn sure.
He does pick up odd jobs, though.
Yeah.
Like being a wax figure for a day. What?
There's a tiny little keyhole here. Can you see?
Oh yes, that's probably for the winder he used to wind up the mechanism.
Looks a little unusual, don't you think?
Yes, you'd need just the right key to wind it, I imagine.
Why do I feel as though I've seen something? Something a bit like a key that's about the right size to fit in this hole.
It would be wonderful if we had the key. Let's check carefully over what we've already found.
Can I use something? How can I combine items? How can I combine? I want to combine items, and then also
Ooh,
there's the thing up top here. There's tiny little stubs sticking out from this small hole here. Look.
I suppose there must have been a little knob or something on that for the setting the time.
In that case, seeing as we know the inspector took such good care of this watch, it probably broke when the incident occurred, didn't it?
Yes, of course.
Which could mean that there's a small part of the watch still at the scene, maybe. How can I wombo combo?
We have to go look at the thingy majiggy.
Maybe I can try.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we turn its helmet. That's right.
Yeah.
We turn the helmet, and then it does the thing.
The helmet of this charming policeman.
Yeah, we
Yep.
Oh, what's that? It's a key. And it's the same shape.
Yeah.
Can I do I touch that and then this
Yep.
is a you think perhaps this key could be the key for Inspector Rickard's watch?
Oh, yes, it could be. Let's try it at once. There's not a moment to lose.
What the hell's gonna be in here?
I have no idea. Well, it's working again.
I knew it, a perfect fit.
And look! The inspector's watch has started going again.
So it has obviously not just been wound up. So it has obviously just not been wound up. That's all. What is it, Miss Susato?
Well, if the watch isn't actually broken after all, I have a feeling it could have profound implications.
He's deep in thought now. Perhaps I better start thinking deeply too. Okay. So we need to keep that in mind. Whatever that's going to mean for our future here. But, and as predicted, it has very little bearing on the case.
Now then, continue with your cross-examination, please, counsel.
Just right back into the cross-examination.
Oh.
Right. I was going to look at this again just to double check. And we did sneak along behind Cosmo now below peek in the room where it all happened, and he stole a pocket watch. I think this little bystander also to life. There's that Reaper, I bet. Got his board.
He has a face that screams bored. That's funny.
What did the autopsy report say again for Craig?
Yeah.
Of course the time of death is not there. Of course the time of death would not be there. Of course it's not there. Of course it's just blank for the time
He
of
was
death.
45? Huh.
Yeah. Who's the coroner?
Oh god, Maria Gory.
That's a
Coroner name.
I think I'm shot in the chest closure. Okay, yeah, call his name is fire.
Instant death.
Okay.
Hold it!
It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They all heard the loud bang, wasn't it?
Maybe the notice board fell over. Maybe it didn't. Maybe I fell over. Maybe I didn't. But the Reaper's fate is sealed either way because of the gunshot we all heard. Your fate's sealed too.
My fate? That's right. The defense is fated to lose,
Oh, he
and the
got
prosecution
you.
to win.
Oh, damn.
In other words, it all hinges on that single gunshot. So if I could just find some problem with that part of their story.
You guys look like a yin-yang.
Uh-huh.
Black and white.
Oh my god.
It may be possible to change all our fates.
Of course, none of that changes the fact I heard what I heard, does it?
Huh. Not much to go on.
As you've pointed out, Mr. Naruhodo, there's no question that the notice board was moved, so somebody must have done it.
But it did happen after the event, so maybe Cosmo's right, and it's not relevant to the case.
But it seems to have been deliberately positioned so as to hide the body from view. So I feel sure that there's some deeper significance to all of this.
Yes, I know what you mean.
I've no doubt there are more clues to be uncovered. You're on the right track, I can feel it. So follow your instincts.
Alright then. I'm trying.
Hmm.
Well, I've done the first two. Let me go on to don't know anything about it, just in the crossroads of life, whatever that means. But you did go to see what had happened in the room, didn't you?
Fresno Street is my whole world. It's all I know. And I know all of it. I have to make it my business to know if I want to hold up my sign up high. It's really heavy.
So you did go to see what happened.
It's not the destination that's important. It's how you get there, isn't it?
Did you notice the notice board in the room?
If you think about it, we're both the same species, aren't we? Both different members of the Cyan family.
What?
So if I'd spotted it, I might have tried to trip it out of the sense of rivalry, I admit.
Someone really needs to tell you that you're Homo sapiens, not Homo sciens. Does that mean that you
And
didn't
you're
notice the board?
homosexual. Kiss your boyfriend. I could only repeat what I said before.
Christ.
I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander. I'm just a sign at the crossroads of life. In which case, just who is responsible for moving the notice board?
I'm really proud of that one.
It screams everything. What exactly do you mean by that?
Oh, come on, you not notice? It looks like he hates everything in the world, that fella. But you don't notice, boss. There's one thing he likes. He can steal his eyes. Like a doll's eye.
Oh god.
I can't say I'd ever noticed.
I'll tell you one thing for free, though. I know it's about something on the floor. Off of the Reaper. No, or off the Reaper. Not for a second.
Alright, buddy.
Sorry?
But I was that scared I couldn't. You just never know what a friend like that might do if you look away, do you?
If you didn't take your eyes off the defendant, you should be able to confirm categorically whether or not he was the one who moved the notice board.
Yeah. Bruh.
Hey, I got the Reaper did nothing at all. I can swear that.
Okay.
I couldn't have missed it. He teed that thing up right again and dragged it in the corner.
Right. Oh, we cleared that up. What happened to the face that screams bored? I feel your pain, Cosmo. So this is the last thing that we have left, and Ryu made the point of talking about how if we can confirm the time, or if we can confirm something about the gunshot story, that would help us. Because that's all that we have left in this cross-examination at this point.
Yeah.
Go off of. Not that it involves the board tipping over anymore, but anything else. Because, I mean, we have that, but that doesn't really confirm the time. That just confirms that the watch still
Yeah.
worked. But I don't really know what that means, because the watch ironically stops at 5 o'clock anyways.
I still think, like, Van Zieks was obviously framed.
Oh, that's obviously what's going on
And
here, but
just, like, how,
we just have to get down to the bottom of how and who and why and when.
in other words, everything.
Everything, yes.
Because the gunshot, per se, was definitely the firecrackers.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what sort of a bang could it make?
Because, I mean, that's one thing I can go for. I haven't really investigated them at all, but not that I mean, maybe I can go for the fuse? Go for it.
Have you an idea, Mr. Naruhodo? You're staring at the end of the string of fireworks.
Sorry, it's just that's the Venus special. I was wondering what 600 pence worth of fireworks would sound like.
Shall we find out?
What? But she said it could blow up the courtroom. All right, that was a fairly sizable bang.
My ears are still ringing, Mr. Naruhodo. Sounded almost exactly like.
Okay, well, right now we now have
Yep,
everything that
slight
we needed.
gunshot.
Take
That's why
that.
it's worth looking at everything.
That's not it. Fuck.
Oh no. Oh, we should have
clear
saved.
grounds for
Oh,
being
you should have
suspicious of that
saved.
last statement.
Oh no.
we'll be fine.
I'm sorry, Council, but I failed to see why.
Well, I was just playing devil's advocate.
You can't do that in the court. Yes, you do appear to have something of the devil in you, Mr. Nahodo.
It's just man merely dishing out penalties. But then what could it be?
Huh.
Unless it's the fact of the detective still died when we heard the gunshot. Because I guess maybe trying to... I'll make another... I'll save real quick.
Yeah.
Hold us on the 2 lives that we have left. Not that's gonna change much, but... Because the only other thing that we have that can really go against that would be the stopwatch at this point, because the firecracker would go for the gun sound.
Yeah.
But other than that, the only thing that we have that would involve on that statement would be the time. And if it's not that, then I have no... So
It's
it is the
that.
watch.
Okay.
Okay.
But we did need to examine the firecrackers at any rate.
Yeah. I'm afraid that's not necessarily the case.
Oh.
At the scene, we found this key to the winder of the inspector's pocket watch. A key. And having wound the pocket watch, we discovered that it is in fact still works. You see, the watch didn't stop because it was broken at all.
It
And
stopped
that
because it was
fact
scared.
fully undermines one of the most fundamental purposes of which this entire case has been built. Okay, so we are using that, because I guess the only way to figure out the time of death was by the pocket watch, I guess is what they're assuming.
Order! But Council, the watch was stopped at almost exactly 5 o'clock.
Yeah, which is just when we heard the gunshot.
Yeah, exactly the hour.
The time that was showing on the watch tells us nothing other than when it wound down. It's merely a coincidence that it happened to be at 5 o'clock.
Objection.
Hmm.
Even if that's true, the 3 witnesses we all heard of it. The 3 witnesses here all heard the gunshot at 5 o'clock. So that's obviously when this crime was committed.
Objection.
No, that doesn't hold.
Ooh.
Why not? Recall what Inspector Lestrade said only moments ago.
The boss used to wind up every evening without fail when he was waiting for his grub to come at the pub. That was a riddle rhyme thing there. That he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years polishing it and winding it. It meant the word to him, that watch did.
The victim was in the habit of winding his watch once a day, in the evening. We can reasonably assume, therefore, that he wound the timepiece in the evening before he died as well.
Yes, that would be entirely reasonable.
But if that's the case, you wouldn't expect the watch to have really wound down by 5 o'clock the following day.
Nope. Well, how do you explain it then?
In summary, the evening before the day of the incident, when the gunshot rang out in that room, the inspector was already unable to wind his watch. You can't mean.
He was already dead.
What would stop a man winding his watch if he's been in the habit of winding it every single evening for 10 years? The obvious answer is that he was already dead.
Yep.
Ooh, order! Council, that is the most extraordinary claim.
Yeah, it is. Extraordinary isn't the word, it's absurd. You claim he was already dead the night before? Do you really think the Scotland Yard's coroner would have overlooked something like that?
On that subject, there is something rather surprising. No time of death. Actually an omission in the coroner's report. The time of death is not noted.
I noticed that myself.
Yep.
That's right.
Hey, man, you ever get my neighbor from me? I can't ignore it.
What do you mean?
I play my very great bottle of blood.
Yes, so the victim's blood hadn't dried. It was fresh.
It got you off bad, doesn't it?
Objection.
But the blood could be explained in a number of ways. It could have been put there afterward. So fresh blood could have been poured over the victim's body after... Does my learned friend think that fresh blood is available in every street corner?
Well, it needn't necessarily have been human blood, of course.
No.
We've been told previously that Scotland Yard has no way to identify blood as human.
It's just like,
Yeah, it's like, oh.
The problem is currently being researched. At present, you are correct. It is beyond our abilities.
So then, chicken's blood could have been used, for example.
It's certainly a possibility that it wasn't the inspector's blood at all.
There is someone that can test that, though.
Yeah.
But the gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock that afternoon. That's beyond question. Is it, though? What? Given that the time of death of the victim has already been called into question, it isn't beyond the realms of possibility that what these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all.
oh, please, what are you trying to say?
Oh, you know, it was not very good for that room.
Now you listen to me. A street seller's ears are his livelihood.
I don't doubt your ears, sir, but all you can state with certainty is that you heard a noise.
Eh?
Explain yourself then, counsel.
A noise that sounds like a gunshot. Could have been made with...
The firecrackers.
Oh,
Oh, that was
almost
close.
made a boo-boo. Something like this. The culprit could have set one of these to fake a gunshot.
Good gracious! The very fireworks that are sold by the witness.
Now hold on a minute. Are you saying I did it? My pretty little firecrackers only make a little pop anyway. See?
Not 100 of them together. The Venus special that you sell for 600 pennies sounds like this.
That sounds like a gun. That does sound like a
Yeah.
gunshot.
As the court can now attest, sounds very much like a gunshot, in fact. You're trying to suggest that somebody set one of those fireworks off at the scene? I'm suggesting that somebody knew the defendant was in the room at 5 that day and sought to implicate him by creating a sound like a gunshot for these peddlers on Fresno Street to hear. But even the accused himself had testified that he saw no one else at the room at the time. Whether it was a gunshot or a firecracker, the only person present to cause that bang was Barrick Van Zeeks.
One whiff of a match and my firecrackers go pop. See? That's what people like them.
That's fair for your fingers, young lady.
Recently, during my time here in Britain, I've learned of a very useful invention indeed. Something called a time bomb.
Good heavens, a bomb!
Yes, a device that allows you to blow up whatever you like.
An
whenever you
anti-gravity
like.
device, if you
I
will.
think I know where this is going, because right before he was saying that, my brain, while I was doing my lines, had a thought. We finally know what... Granted, I don't know how exactly he could have said it very well, because candles burn down, but I'll assume that they had the fireworks set up so that the candle itself would
Oh.
light it, and then it would go pop, and then that's why it's so blown apart, was from the firework exploding on it. Now, it's a little bit reverse, because like if they're trying to set it ahead of time, candles go down, not
Yeah.
up. So, I mean, it still technically is possible in a way, but it's
Well, look, because the fuse would be
complicated.
at the bottom. So when they burn down, it'll go down to the fuse.
yeah, but there's the candle wax that creates. But,
Yeah, but that one wouldn't be lit. Just the other two would. You see what I'm saying? They put the firecrackers on that last candle that isn't lit, that's fully intact, and then they light the other two, and as they burn down, it'll reach the wick of the firecrackers, and then boom! And it'll blow part of the candle off that it's sitting on.
that is possible. Anyways,
Just a theory.
okay, but-
Mr. Naruhodo, I worry that your unfortunate phrasing there may lead to yet another international incident.
No, wait. It's the whenever you like part that's important. A time device. Yes, exactly. A time device. Something of that nature could have been planted at the scene. A device that was able to produce the sound of a gunshot long after the culprit had left.
Your extravagant claim will have to be substantiated with evidence, counsel. What proof do you have to suggest in any way that a time device was employed to create the gunshot sound?
The candles!
Oh boy. Well, we're gonna test that theory. next
I
time.
think I'm right, and if I am, I'm gonna feel really smart.
Well, you both have the same idea, technically, so.
Yeah, but I had to explain it to you, so I think I had more of an idea than you did.
I mean, we'll see how the game decides to think of it in that way.
Yeah, because
So-
sometimes we are not exactly on the same page with the game.
No. But we know what to put, and I can't wait to possibly be wrong.
No, I can't wait to be right. Don't jinx it.